lost in a city dream, and I was at home again beside
welcome back to my channel. So today, as you guys can see by the title, we're going to be doing a 100% drugstore makeup look, and that is what I have on my face right now. I did kind of go heavy, not gonna lie. I feel like I haven't done a heavy drugstore makeup look in a really long time, and I am so impressed with so many of these products, especially what I have on my eyes. The blendability of these eyeshadows, the sparkliness of these eyeshadows, the way that they applied on my eyes. I was just hands down completely impressed with this palette. I haven't played with greens in a really long time, and I was pleasantly surprised. I did not expect to love these eyeshadows as much as I did. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe, and as always, I appreciate your time in watching my video. If you want to see how I did this makeup look, then just keep on watching the video.
Alright, first things first, we are going to fill in our brows. I'm almost positive this pencil is by L'Oreal. I will list every single product that I use down below, of course. I didn't want a super harsh brow, so I just filled in the bottom, gave it some shape, and then moved the product upwards. This is a nice way to fill in your brows if you don't like that super defined brow. Clean up underneath your brows, of course. I just did the bottom, you know, just so it looked nice and clean. And yeah, blend it out. Then of course, prime your skin. I'm using the CoverGirl Outlast Primer. This is just gonna make sure there's a barrier between our foundation. Then I thought I was gonna mix these two, but I ended up only using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in the shade Desert Beige. I used a brush, and this oxidized to a great color. And then for my contouring, I use this Jordana Sculpt in Go stick in number 3 Deep. I was pleasantly surprised with this foundation stick or contour stick. It blended out so easy, and I felt like it made my bronzing foundation stand out and last much longer, and it's so affordable, so yay, thumbs up for that. And then of course blend it all out, make sure it's all a seamless blend. Then for concealer, I use this Wet n Wild highlighting, illuminating, concealing pen, and for whatever reason one eye blended fine, and then if you look at the other eye, you'll see here in just a second, it broke apart. It was the weirdest thing. I have no idea why. Maybe I didn't blend in my primer well in that area, but it was very weird. So I ended up taking the Photo Focus concealer by Wet n Wild and just throwing it on top of it just to make sure I didn't completely ruin the look, but you can see it just a tad. To set that, I use the CODY AIRSPUN loose powder, which I think is a great loose powder for drugstore. It kind of smells like a grandma, but whatever, it does a job. Then I'm taking this L'Oreal Infallible face powder, but I used a shade that was about 4 or 5 shades darker to bronze, which is a great hack if you can't find a bronzer that's your shade and you want one that's matte. Completely do it. True Match powders work amazing for that as well. And stars of the show, these Maybelline City Mini Palettes. I took that light shimmery shade in the Rooftop bronzes and use that as the transition color. You guys, these palettes are super impressive. The pigmentation was just amazing. I honestly did not think that it was gonna work out this well. And this green shade is from the Urban Jungle palette, and you'll see I'm like, oh, very impressed. This dark forest green shade is super gorgeous if you are like wanting a smoky eye, but you know, you want to switch it up from your browns and your blacks. A green, you guys, is so pretty, especially if you have like green eyes. It just makes them pop that much more. And I'm doing kind of a halo eye, so I blend the two shades together. And I pretty much use every single shade in this palette. This is an unnecessary step. I thought it would act as a base. This is from the Mermaid Collection by Wet n Wild. And I use that as a base for that gorgeous green shade, but it really didn't work that well. And then take that light green shade for added dimension to it. I wish my camera captured the different flecks of green better, but it was super gorgeous. Took that same dark green matte shade and put it on my lower lash line. Every single color that we put on our lid, we put on our lower lash line. Line your eyes, of course. And I end up using this NYX brush liquid liner just because it makes that flick easier, and then the darkest color in that palette to really deepen it, and then the lightest color to highlight our inner corner, which you'll see here. But isn't that gorgeous the way these blended? Of course, don't forget your lower lash line, and I also use Salon Perfect 615 lashes, if I'm not mistaken, of course, down below. This blush was so beautiful. I didn't expect it to be as deep as it was. This is the MILANI Sunlight Lumiere du Soleil Spotlight bronzer slash highlighter slash whatever you want it to be. I used it as a blush and it was completely gorgeous. I fell in love with it. And then for highlight, I mixed 2 shades. I used the Wet n Wild Crown of My Canopy, which is a lighter highlight, but I wanted to beam a little bit, so I used Milani's SUNGLOW Luminescence SOLAIRE in Strobe Light number 3 on top of it to give me an extra sheen. And these Milani and Wet n Wild highlighters are such amazing highlighters for an affordable price. And then I took a little bit of that dark green black shade in that palette just to deepen the outer V's just a little more. We're like trying to slay this look. So yeah, that's why I did that. And for our lip liner, this lip liner is so impressive. It's by L'Oreal. It's the Color Riche Matte, and this is in the shade Mastermind. This shade is so beautiful, and I mixed it with the shade Peach Pit by the Infallible Paints Mattes. Such a gorgeous color that pretty much completes the look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up for more affordable drugstore looks. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.